Collaboration is, I think it's going to sound really odd to describe it this way, but I think when you're collaborating with somebody on any sort of creative endeavor, whether it's writing or just anything in the creative arts, I think it's a very intimate type of partnership. And what I mean by that is, I think it's crucial that you trust the person that you're writing with. I don't know a single writer who enjoys sharing first drafts. As I certainly don't, but I don't know a single one. And as I'm writing, I generally tend to do a very light edit. And I'm not sure, I think Matt writes the same way, but essentially you're signing up to share that first draft with someone. It's easy when you're at a convention or at a pub or a writer's group or whatever. It's easy to spitball ideas around other writers. I mean, that's what we do. We talk about that kind of thing. It's, it's that whole kindred spirit, like-minded type of thing. It's easy to do that. But when you're collaborating, you're signing up to allow yourself to be vulnerable, to be exposed, to roll with things. You have to trust the other person you're writing with in order to really create some good work, I believe. And like I say, Matt's a fantastic guy. I knew his skill level was there, from reading some of his past stuff, and definitely trust the guy. I'd take a bullet for him, and it just went from there. So, the collaboration process for Matt and I, when he sent me that first chapter, I remember kind of slumping back in my chair because he had written this incredibly beautiful visual scene, and it floored me. I think I stepped away, and I'm trying to remember, I don't know whether I was at my former office job or whether I was home that day, but I went to either get coffee or tequila, one or the other. But I don't think I hesitated. I think I dove right in and just wrote from the gut, and finished what I thought was going to be the second chapter. And I sent it to Matt and shot him a message, and he didn't take long. I think it was 20 minutes. He got back to me. He's like, "Holy shit, this." Okay, he had this idea. He wanted to combine our sections together and make that chapter one, which was a great call. And it went from there. We both knew very early on this was something that felt unique. It felt really special and different. It just had a vibe, it had a tone to it. It just, I told Matt later on, there were times that it felt, whether it was his chapter or my chapter, it was like this huge gear, this cog of a machine that clicked into place every time a new chapter was finished. It just worked. We didn't really try. We didn't have to try very hard at matching our voices. It just sort of flowed, and that was awesome. That was a great experience for that. We did not work with an outline. There's a big part of me when I was a much newer writer. I used to work with outlines, even on short stories. I didn't want to screw anything up. I wanted it all planned out. But over time, I rarely work with an outline, at least not a detailed one. It's maybe a few paragraphs. I don't really detail outlines. I think I can confine you and constrain you into something that's planned out, and I think it doesn't allow for a little bit of freedom. It doesn't allow for just things to pop up to add new plot lines or introduce a new character, things like that, if you really detail and finely detail an outline. And as it turned out, I think it was a great choice for us because Matt had this great idea early on to give sort of a slight nod to an earlier novella of mine. And as it turned out, that became a very integral part of the plot. And looking back, I honestly cannot see it any other way now. It became ingrained. It became part of the whole storyline. And working with an outline, I know it's almost become a little bit of a cliche thing with writers writing characters, and characters becoming alive and they do something you didn't expect. But in this work, I honestly can say that happened. There was a moment where Matt and I were working, and the characters, they did come to life off the page, and we really focused. I know he's a big, he's got a great focus on building a strong, believable character, and that's one of the things I've always been focused on. And it worked out really well. We couldn't be prouder of this. We really hope readers enjoy what we've created in this world of Blowback.